Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Buckle up because what we're about to discuss could be one of the most significant moves in recent Bears history, and it involves a name that's been making waves across the league, Quinnen Williams. Yes, you heard that right. The rumors are heating up, and they point to a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the NFC North and give the Bears a serious shot at elevating their defense to a whole new level. So, what's all this buzz about? Well, it revolves around Williams, who's currently with the New York Jets, and the possibility that he might be traded to Chicago in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a huge chunk of future capital, but when you see the impact Williams can have, it starts to make a lot of sense for the Bears. Now, before we get deeper into the what and why, let's set the scene a little. The Jets, as you all know, are in a bit of a transitional phase. They're rebuilding after some off-field issues and a transition in their coaching staff. They're also dealing with some cap constraints. Just look at their current record, 0-7, and their cap situation, which is around $6 million. They're not exactly in a position to compete right now, and it's clear that they're focusing on clearing cap space to build for the future, especially on the offensive line, which has been a sore spot this season. But what about Quinnen Williams? Well, this guy is not just any defensive tackle. He's an interior disruptor, a game wrecker that can change the course of a game with his ability to control the line of scrimmage. In the 2023-24 season, he's been an absolute force, and his numbers back that up. He's been a dominant presence, smashing gaps, creating pressure, and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. Last season, he finished with 30 pressures, 4 sacks, and an impressive Pro Football Focus grade of 84.7. That's not just good, that's elite. His EPA per rush, which measures how much a play is expected to change based on his involvement, is at -0.12, meaning he's consistently helping his team stay in favorable situations. And he's also racked up 9 tackles for loss, showing how disruptive he is in the backfield. Over his career, he's accumulated around 380 pressures, 44 sacks, and 200 tackles, all while drawing double teams that often free up other defenders to make plays. And get this, he's been injury-free in 2025, which is a huge plus, especially for a player that's been somewhat durable throughout his career. When you compare him to other disruptive forces in the league like Chris Jones, Williams holds up quite well, if not surpassing in some areas. His ability to generate pressure and disrupt the offensive line is second to none, and he's adding around 220 pressures just in the Jets' 2022 season alone, which is incredible. His presence on the field can't be overstated, and the Bears are seriously looking at him as a potential game changer. Now, let's talk about the why. Why would the Jets trade away a player like Williams? Well, the answer lies in their current position and their strategic priorities. With a 0-7 record and a focus on rebuilding, they're losing a lot of games, and the team isn't exactly in a position to contend this year. They're also facing the challenge of managing their salary cap, especially with a $21 million hit if they keep Williams. By trading him, they free up cap space to extend other key players or acquire additional draft picks, especially at the quarterback position, where they have a history of high draft picks and turnover. They've also been quite vocal about their intention to rebuild their roster, and shedding some of their most expensive defensive players makes sense from a cap management perspective. On the other hand, for the Bears, this trade could be a masterstroke. Chicago is currently sitting at 3-4, and while they've shown flashes of promise, their pass rush and interior defense need a serious boost. Right now, their defensive line ranks around 19th in pressures per game, which isn't bad but certainly isn't enough for a team with playoff ambitions. Adding Williams to that front four could be a real game changer. Imagine him lining up alongside Jarrett, who had 5 sacks last season, and creating constant pressure up the middle. His ability to stop the run, projected to reduce the yards allowed by over 1,000 yards, would be invaluable. Plus, his disruptive presence would help mitigate the absence of Turner, who's out for the season with an ACL injury. Williams' addition could boost the team's EPA per rush by around 15%, which is massive when you consider how much that improves their overall defensive efficiency. We're talking about a guy who can elevate the entire front seven, pushing the Bears into a top 10 unit in terms of run defense and pressure creation. And it's not just about stopping the run. Williams can really help generate turnovers, adding around 11 more takeaways, and force internal pressures that could also help relieve some of the pressure on the secondary, which has been banged up with Gordon on injured reserve. All of this adds up to a more balanced, aggressive, and disruptive defense that can wreak havoc on opponents. And that's exactly what the Bears need if they want to make a serious playoff push, and perhaps even contend for a Super Bowl in the coming years. Now let's talk about the broader impact of a move like this. Historically, trades for interior defensive linemen like Wilkins in 2023, which boosted odds by plus 1,600, or the Vikings, plus 900, show how transformative a disruptive defensive tackle can be. When you add Williams to the Bears' roster, his impact could raise their Super Bowl odds significantly, probably from plus 6,000 to around plus 3,000. That's a huge jump, and it's no exaggeration to say that Williams could be the X factor that turns the Bears into a true playoff contender. Think about the comparison to other recent trades, like Buckner with the Colts in 2024, which added 14 tackles for loss, and you start to see how a player like Williams can reshape a defense almost overnight. His ability to stuff the run, pressure the quarterback, and create turnovers aligns perfectly with the Bears' strategic goals. It's a move that echoes the power plays of the 2010s when the Bears built defenses that dominated the league. This potential trade isn't just a quick fix. It's a strategic pivot that could echo through the NFC for years to come. The idea of acquiring a player like Williams isn't just about immediate impact. It's about setting the foundation for sustained success and reestablishing the Bears as a dominant force, reminiscent of their storied past. The NFL is a league where defense wins championships, and adding a disruptive force like Williams could be the missing piece that finally gets Chicago back into serious Super Bowl contention. So, as fans, we should be excited about this possibility. It's a bold move, a statement of intent, and a sign that the Bears are serious about competing at the highest level. The trade vision is clear. The Bears are looking to reshape their defense into one of the league's best, and Williams could be the key player to unlock that potential. We've seen teams like the Colts and Vikings make similar moves that paid off big time, and now it's Chicago's turn to take that leap. The NFC North is already fiercely competitive, with the Lions, Packers, and Vikings all vying for supremacy. But with a player like Williams anchoring the middle of the line, the Bears could tip the scales in their favor for the upcoming seasons. It's a bold, aggressive strategy, one that could define the franchise's future and secure their place among NFL's elite. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. This is an exciting time for the franchise, and whether this trade materializes or not, one thing is for sure. The Bears are definitely making moves to elevate their game and position themselves for a brighter, more competitive future. Stay hyped, Bears fans, because the best is yet to come.